What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a scripting language used to create and control dynamic website content, such as interactive forms, animations, and events. How do you declare a variable in JavaScript? Variables in JavaScript can be declared using var, let, or const keywords. What is the difference between let, const, and var? Var is function scoped, let and const are block scoped. Const is used for variables that should not be reassigned. What are data types in JavaScript? The basic data types in JavaScript are string, number, boolean, undefined, null, object, and symbol. What is the use of typeof operator in JavaScript? Typeof operator returns a string indicating the type of the operand. What is the difference between upper and twice in JavaScript? Offer compares values after type conversion, while cocker compares both value and type without conversion. What is a closure in JavaScript? A closure is a function that has access to its own scope, the scope of the outer function, and the global scope. What is this keyword in JavaScript? This refers to the context in which the function is called. It can refer to the global object, the object calling the function, or be explicitly defined. What is an IIFE in JavaScript? IIFE stands for Immediately Invoked Function Expression, a function that runs as soon as it is defined. What is the event loop in JavaScript? The event loop is a mechanism that handles asynchronous callbacks in JavaScript. It continuously checks the call stack and the task queue. What are promises in JavaScript? Promises represent a value that may be available now in the future or never. They are used for handling asynchronous operations. What is the difference between null and undefined? Null is an assigned value that represents no value, while undefined means a variable has been declared but not assigned a value. What is the DOM? DOM stands for Document Object Model, a programming interface for HTML and XML documents. It represents the page, so programs can change the document structure, style, and content. How do you select an element by ID in JavaScript? You can use document.getElementById to select an element by its ID. How do you add an event listener in JavaScript? You can use element.addEventListener event function to add an event listener to an element. What is the use of JSON.stringify? JSON.stringify converts a JavaScript object or array into a JSON string. What is the use of JSON.parse? JSON.parse parses a JSON string and returns a JavaScript object or array. What are arrow functions? Arrow functions are a concise syntax for writing function expressions in JavaScript, introduced in ES6. What is hoisting in JavaScript? Hoisting is JavaScript's default behavior of moving declarations to the top of the current scope before code execution. What are template literals? Template literals are string literals allowing embedded expressions denoted by backticks and can include multi-line strings and interpolation. How do you create a class in JavaScript? A class can be created using the class keyword, e.g., class myClass, constructor. What is the difference between let and var in terms of scope? Var is function scoped, while let is block scoped. What are async, await in JavaScript? Async and await are syntactic sugar for working with promises, making asynchronous code look synchronous. What is the spread operator in JavaScript? The spread operator allows an iterable, such as an array, to be expanded in places where 0 or more arguments or elements are expected. What is destructuring assignment? Destructuring assignment is a syntax that allows unpacking values from arrays or properties from objects into distinct variables. How do you create an object in JavaScript? Objects can be created using object literals, new object, or object.create. What is the prototype chain? The prototype chain is a series of links between objects used to implement inheritance in JavaScript. What is the difference between call, apply, and bind? Call and apply invoke a function with a specified this context and arguments, while bind returns a new function with a specified this context and optional arguments. What is nan in JavaScript? Nan stands for not a number, and it is a value representing a computational error. How do you check if a variable is an array in JavaScript? You can check using array variable. What is event delegation? Event delegation is a technique of using a single event listener to manage all similar events for multiple elements within a parent. What is the difference between synchronous and asynchronous code? Synchronous code runs sequentially, while asynchronous code runs in the background, allowing other operations to continue.
What are higher order functions? Higher order functions are functions that take other functions as arguments or return them as output. What is the use of setTimeout? setTimeout executes a function after a specified delay in milliseconds. What is the use of setInterval? setInterval repeatedly executes a function with a fixed time delay between each call. What is a callback function? A callback function is a function passed as an argument to another function, which is then invoked inside the outer function. What is strict mode in JavaScript? Strict mode is a way to opt into a restricted variant of JavaScript introduced in ES5 to catch common coding bugs and secure JavaScript. How do you clone an object in JavaScript? Objects can be cloned using object.assign, the spread operator, just obj, or json.parse, json.stringify, obj. What is the use of promise.all? Promise.all takes an array of promises and returns a single promise that resolves when all of the promises in the array have resolved. How do you remove duplicates from an array in JavaScript? You can remove duplicates using a set, e.g., letUniqueArray, new set array. What is the difference between local storage and session storage? Local storage stores data with no expiration, while session storage stores data for the duration of the page session. How do you convert an array to a string in JavaScript? You can convert an array to a string using the join for method, e.g., array.join. What is the use of document.createElement? Document.createElement creates a new HTML element specified by tag name. What is the Fetch API? The Fetch API provides an interface for fetching resources, including across the network, similar to XML HTTP request. How do you handle exceptions in JavaScript? Exceptions can be handled using try-it-work catch blocks. What is the purpose of array.prototype.map? Array.prototype.map creates a new array with the results of calling a provided function on every element in the calling array. What is the purpose of array.prototype.filter? Array.prototype.filter creates a new array with all elements that pass the test implemented by the provided function. What is the purpose of array.prototype.reduce? Array.prototype.reduce executes a reducer function on each element of the array, resulting in a single output value. What are template literals? Template literals are string literals allowing embedded expressions, multi-line strings, and string interpolation, defined by backticks, duan-I. What is a JavaScript module? A JavaScript module is a file that can export its code to be used by other modules or scripts, allowing for modular